Hi everyone. I recently did a video called Learn the Notes or Learn Violin question mark. And it was addressing the topic of when to move on to a new song. Do we move on as soon as we've learned the notes and the rhythms, like most students want to? Or are you willing to park on that song a little longer and deepen your violin skills? So a viewer asked me to dig deeper into this topic and maybe provide a few examples, which I'm happy to do. It's also very much on my mind because I'm currently creating a mini course on this very topic using 10 simple songs and showing you the value that can be squeezed out of easy songs. Songs that we don't have to work too hard on, then we can afford to think about other things. It's a wonderful thing. And if you can learn to do that on easy songs, you can carry that ability upwards onto your harder songs. So the example I'm going to use today is French folk song, and that is one of the songs in the little mini course that I'm preparing. So French folk song is a very famous, very simple song, very good for beginners. But I assert that French folk song can be highly valuable, even for intermediate and advanced players, because it takes away any stress or difficulty in the notes and the rhythms and allows you to focus 100% on whatever topic you've chosen. So let me just play French folk song. Do you hear that? Let me just play French folk song, and I'll play the right notes and the right rhythms and with a pleasant sound. And then we'll talk about what it took for me to just get that far. I'm not going to put anything special on it, no expression, nothing special. I'm just going to play with good tone and the right notes and the right rhythms. Okay, you know that song, most likely. Very simple, nothing too tricky about it. And the way I played it just now, I would be very happy if one of my earlier students sounded that good, because there was an absence of common flaws and it was in tune. And let me discuss some of the things that went well on that performance I just gave. And these are the things that often don't go well for beginning violinists, and they don't recognize it because they haven't learned to recognize it yet. They haven't developed a sensitivity or broadened their awareness or deepened their listening skills to hear little imperfections that are so obvious when you're not the one playing the violin. We can all hear it when someone else is doing it. But when we're busy, we're busy. So the beauty of simple songs is that it makes us less busy so that we can afford to notice. So first and foremost, with the French folk song I just played for you, it was in tune. And a lot of what helps with our intonation is just a sensitivity to ringy third fingers. Third fingers on the violin ring with the open string next to them. Ooh, did you hear when it rolled into tune? As opposed to dead. Yeah, dead. Beautiful. So become sensitive to ringy notes and just pay attention to your intonation. That's a lifelong pursuit. So just understand that your intonation will continue to get better and better, but you have to pay attention to it. Intonation is inseparable from tone. If you're playing out of tune, no matter how good you do, your tone isn't going to sound wonderful because they clash. So the two go hand in hand. What are the components of good tone? Well, the most basic components of good tone are choosing the right amount of bow weight, the right amount of bow speed, how much bow you use, and the best bow placement for what you're playing or what lane of the highway. So I like to start my beginners with medium, medium, medium. Use medium bow weight, not wimpy, not too forceful. Use the middle sounding point and don't go off that sounding point. It takes skill to stay right there. Later on, for special reasons, we learn to go to the other lanes. And what did I leave out? Oh, how much bow are you using? So use a nice medium bow, not so big that you lose control, but not so small that it sounds contracted and small and choppy. So medium, medium, medium. On French folk song, there's quarter notes and there's long dotted half notes. So that requires a little bit of awareness of your bow distribution. You're going to be playing one bow speed for the quarter notes, and then you're going to have to slow down your bow speed for the long notes. And that takes a little bit of awareness. If you don't do that, then you run out of bow, you have a chop. Let me show you how that sounds when that goes wrong. You just run out of bow. You have to slow your bow down. Now listen. Slow bow, fast bow. Slow, long bow. So that the same amount of bow lasts you 3 times longer. So those are little things that even a beginner can start to think about and should be thinking about. Also, what impacts tone besides bow weight, bow speed, and bow placement is how well you're able to keep a straight bow. Because if you pull a crooked bow, you're also probably going to lose your highway, your bow placement. Because a crooked bow just sends our bow downhill, or sometimes it sends us over the bridge uphill. So I'd add that as a fourth element of tone that you, even a beginner, needs to be aware of, is your straight bow. Okay, so remember those little elements, and after you've learned the notes and the rhythms of a song and you're confident with them, go through the song for another day or two and think about those extra elements that'll make you sound better. Then I would encourage you just to notice any undesirable sound you're making and challenge yourself to be a detective and figure out what caused it. I like to start with what hand did it? Was it right hand problem or left hand problem? Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. I like to go through a song and just pay attention to string crossings and examine my string crossings with a microscope and make sure they're clean, graceful, and well timed. That both hands are arriving together at the same time on the new string. Okay, so that's just the basics of sounding better on an easy song. And those are the things that had to fall into place for me to sound as good as I just sounded for you. But there's more if you want more. If that's enough for you, then great. I applaud you. You already did more than just notes and rhythm. You paid attention to your quality. Let me give you a few ideas of what extra credit things you can do, and the list is long, so I'll try to keep it reasonable. You can work on your ear training with easy songs. Pick a folk song, pick a children's song, a church song, a holiday song, anything, and start on any note you want and try to pluck it out by ear. Sometimes you'll choose a really hard note to start on, but sometimes you'll pick a note that makes it easy to play the song. And there's a whole process involved here. I'm not going to get into it. I get into it in my mini course that's coming up on how to approach a song by ear. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. You can work on it for ear training. You can work on a song to improve your fingerboard geography. And that goes hand in hand with ear training. You can use simple songs to improve your memorization skills. And I go through that a lot in my mini course. You can use simple songs to improve your theory on violin by learning to transpose that simple melody into a different key. It can help you to learn your key signatures. You can use simple songs to challenge yourself to play them in a different position. You can play French folk song in any position. It works in any position if you are willing to explore those positions. I'm not going to demonstrate it here because it would make this video too long. And a big one is you can use simple songs to help you learn how to implement your new vibrato into songs. It's a phenomenon I've been witnessing, that students will really do their work on vibrato and they get it right to where I think it's done. But then they go to apply it to a song and it all goes out the window and they start playing crazy things. And I have a theory about that. And I guess I'll tell you in a nutshell, but it goes into it a lot more in the mini course. We have to teach our hand how to play music with the vibrato without freaking out. We get overexcited and we overestimate the speed of vibrato because we see the professionals and it looks so exciting and it looks so fast, but you have to take the excitement out of it for a while, and you have to implement vibrato more slowly than you want to at first. So that's in a nutshell what you do. And you can do that with these simple songs because they're not stressful, and we can turn off our excitement. I hate to say that, but we can turn off our excitement and just train our hand to stay under control. And after just a month or two of that, we can start relaxing and letting our vibrato go free. And it's a beautiful thing. I've done this with several college students even, and it cleared it right up. So now let me just show you a little bit better French folk song with a few more professional tricks poured onto it. I won't take time to demonstrate ear training and memorization and playing in different positions and all that stuff, or transposing into different keys. Those are great exercises for you. But let me just demonstrate French folk song with a little bit more finesse and a little bit more of the magic juice that is not seen, but is definitely heard. The difference can be subtle, and I forced myself to play it on this violin instead of the violin I prefer to play on, because that wouldn't have been a fair comparison. But those subtle differences are what separate amateurs from professionals. And it just starts by thinking about one element and adding it to a simple song, and then just keep stacking up elements that are on your wish list. So I hope that helps to flesh out this topic a little bit better for you. And remember to subscribe and join my email list at my website, reddesertviolin.com, if you want to be informed of the new mini course on this topic that I'll be releasing very soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.